The Mastering Local Marketing podcast helps local small business owners like you understand what it takes to successfully market your business and drive new customers through your doors. We provide actionable insights, interview leading experts and business owners in various industries, as well as provide tips and tricks we've uncovered over the last 25 years in the field. Whether you're starting your business or you've been at it for decades, let us provide you with the education and resources you need to grow your customer base. It's time to start mastering your local marketing. Here's your host, Matt Hansen.
Welcome to Mastering Local Marketing. I'm Matt Hansen. I am here today with Katie Sannito, who runs a very interesting service business that we're going to talk about. So I'm really excited over the next two podcasts that we're doing. We're bringing in service businesses and talking through how you've been so successful, how you're growing, and some of the things that you're doing well. But we'll also talk about one or two things that you might need some help on. So, okay. Katie, I want to welcome you to our studio today. We're also here with Jim Deedlow on the side, and He's over there. He's going to jump in as we go. But Katie, let's talk about what is your business? What have you started? What have you done?
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I am excited to share what I bring to the region. I am the Gourmet Goddess. I started that in 2012. And as the Gourmet Goddess, I provide unique, intimate dining experiences for individuals hosting in their homes. So dinner parties, cocktail parties. I do lots of baby and bridal shower brunches. We're in that season right now. But I also work for local businesses that may be mostly doing a grand opening, some sort of celebration. So my cocktail party, small bite menu works really well for that setting. And so I'll go in and set up a nice display of small bites for their VIPs and customers coming in to celebrate whatever it is that they're doing.
So you're busy we've got Easter coming up, so I know You're probably busy right there.
Yep, I'm busy prep. I host Easter, so I don't do a ton of work for other clients, but I try to offer something. So one of the other facets of my business is that I can sort of pop up and offer some easy things to pre-order for a holiday that helps people with, extra appetizers or something fun. So I do cheese and charcuterie boards quite a bit. I'm not doing that for Easter this year, but I have my caramelized bacon lollipops and smoked salmon dip and some crab cakes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So after we're done here, I'm hitting the kitchen and getting that stuff going.
Go. So how did you get into this? Like, what was it? Just a conversation that you had with somebody? Was it a passion that you've always had? What led down that path?
Passion for sure. I come from an Italian-American background. My great-grandparents were Italian immigrants, and my great-grandfather was a chef. So I spent my youth going and visiting Grandma and Grandpa every Saturday and, roast chicken and pasta. And, we had big spreads, and going to the zoo as a kid, the picnic basket was loaded with all kinds of delicious things beyond, probably standard peanut butter and jelly. Right. So I've been around great food my whole life. And so it just was naturally a way of life for me and what I was used to. The great experiences around the table, food at the forefront, and going and visiting my grandparents on Saturdays. My grandpa always would teach me something every Saturday. So I learned how to make a vinaigrette. He taught me how to make his risotto. I still have his roasting pan from his restaurant. We still have the risotto pot and spoon, things like that. So what was very typical for me and something I thought lots of people experienced, I learned in my 20s when I would host my coworkers that people were like, what are you doing here working in pharmacy benefit management in an office? Why aren't you cooking for people? I'm like, well, I do. And they're like, no, like really cooking for people. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went to culinary school part-time while I was working full-time. And then my boss, who was also a good friend of mine, asked me if I would come and cook dinner for her and her family for their parents' 50th wedding anniversary, because they really wanted to just relax and enjoy. Like, she loves to cook. She can cook. She didn't want to do it for that. So I did. I was like, of course I would. And she lives up in Milwaukee. And on the ride home with my husband, I was like, you know what? I'm like, this is what I will do. I knew I wanted to leave my career in what I was doing eventually, but I didn't know exactly what it was. I always thought it was going to be, I'll open a restaurant like my grandfather had. And that's a whole nother life.
Right.
it wasn't about a restaurant. It was about providing a great food experience, but also community and gathering and making memories around the table. So long answer, that's how I got into it.
Love it. Yeah, you mentioned the Italian American. I'm the cook in my family, and I'm not Italian, but I did marry an Italian. So somewhere in Italy, the food prep doesn't happen. I'm not sure. My wife she's given that to me, so that's fine. But so you've built a brand, right? So we've got the Gourmet Goddess, and you've got a variety of followers at this point. How did you decide that brand? Was it somebody that came to you, or is it something that you just said, I'm going to own this? I'm
going to own it. I am a business student. I went to IU, so I'm on Purdue campus.
It's okay.
But I am a Hoosier, and I have graduated with a marketing degree. So it's just in me to be a marketing type person. But I knew that the experience I wanted to create for people, and I needed people to understand from the get-go, from my name, was that it was going to be something special and maybe borderline luxurious. It was more than just coming with aluminum pans and sternos and, bringing food. Like, it's the presentation, it's the feeling, it's the service, it's all of the things that I provide to people. So the name was very important to me, so that people could hopefully feel right away that if you're hiring the Gourmet Goddess, wow, this is something unique and special. Sure. And it's just me, and I want it to be that way. I have a team that will help me if I have larger events where I need servers or things like that. But as far as the food prep, when you hire the Gourmet Goddess for an event, I'm the one that shows up, and I always want it to be that way because it's a very personal experience, and that's just what my brand is. And I think people know that and appreciate that. And so, yeah.
Hey, by the way, typically it goes the other way. I start talking about other stuff, and then Matt Hansen over here is like, "Well, let's get back to the marketing." But I want to get to the marketing. Yes. We're talking for the local business. There's plenty of them like you, and you listen to the podcast, and we very much appreciate it. But I remember in 2012 when you made the jump, and I was at a party, and you and Tom were like, "Man, we're going to make this thing," and Tom was kind of freaked out about it. And I've known her husband his whole life and my whole life, and but you did make that, and right there, I think that party was the first time. But you started to try to build some bridges and some collaborations. You were actually sitting in this chair yesterday doing the show for the Munster Chamber.
Right.
I see you everywhere in these different organizations. How has that contributed to your marketing?
Super question, and it's been very important. Being a business student, and in my previous role that had nothing to do with food, I was in a client relationship management role. And that experience really helped me in my business because I knew the client relationship was really important, especially doing something as personal as coming into someone's home, in their kitchen, preparing a meal, serving them and their friends. And so, belonging to the chamber was really important to me right out of the gate. I'm a very social person, and I don't mind being alone in the kitchen doing what I'm doing, but I need an outlet, but I also needed people to know what I do. So being a part of the chamber has helped tremendously. Munster Chamber is the only chamber I belong to, just by design. It's the community I live in, but it's what I have time for. I can't belong to a million chambers, so I give everything I can to that chamber, and have been part of them for 12 years and been part of the board, and now I sit as the chairman, which is really great because it gives me an opportunity to share my passion for local business owners and entrepreneurs. And so even though I'm not there necessarily pushing my business, I'm championing small business. And so I think by virtue of just people seeing my passion for that, and I'm not there in the vein of I'm doing this because I want to promote myself. I'm just there because I want to promote all small business and make Munster's small business community better. People see that, and then they have good thoughts about me and my business.
Where does that fit with you, Matt?
Yeah, I think chambers are very interesting to me because I've had experiences that are good and I've had experiences that are bad. And I think what you're telling me is that you have a really good relationship with individuals that you can all work together. So there's two ways that we can take this, right? You join a chamber, and the first thing that most people think is, I'm going to go promote my business and I'm going to give them all of my discounts and sales and all this other stuff, right? And what ends up happening is you turn people away at that point. They stop listening. They don't want to really kind of get to know you because all you're doing is selling them. Right? It's like walking on, into a store, onto a car sales lot, and they just ambush you with trying to sell you on something. What you're saying is, I didn't join a chamber to sell my business. I joined a chamber to join others that we could work on it together and we create a community.
Yes.
That is an entirely different model that most people don't do, right? They join 5 different chambers in all these different, different towns and cities. And what they don't do is they don't put any effort into it, right? And I see this all the time because we have a bunch of different chambers in our area that are all over the place. And you see the same people on the list of members all over the place. But if you go to these different chamber events, they're not there. They just joined, or occasionally they'll jump in there with some kind of offer or whatever. But you have collaborated with the individuals within that chamber to build things. I know you've got an event coming up, in Munster. So like you're literally working with these companies to make something bigger than just yourself, but you're all supporting each other. Am I correct with that?
Yes. And that's the key. I mean, so many of us that are solopreneurs, and there are many of them in the chamber, you're wearing all the hats. You have great ideas. It just comes down to time, being able to implement. And so I saw the opportunity where, because I get it, that the chamber could present this event, which is basically a shopping event to support our retail, our small retail businesses and service businesses, that we could provide the space for them to present themselves to the community, and that make it easier for them to do something collectively. So yes, we're working together to make something great, but also just making sure that we can leverage each other's strengths. So those partnerships and building those relationships are key. And so I think anybody should find that to be important in their business, is build the relationship with your customers so you can be a trusted source.
Right. How do you handle referrals, or how do you get them?
Well, a lot of the time it's someone's been at a party that I've been at. So they see me in action. They see how I am and what I do and how I do it, and they eat the food. And so all of that together, I think, is what sells my service the best without me having to do much. In my early days, I did have a referral program, and that worked nicely. And then it sort of went away, not because I thought, it isn't valuable, but the referrals were coming without me needing to necessarily do that, and I tried to provide value to my clients in other ways, so it just has happened.
So are there any complementary businesses that you've worked with? So say, I know a florist or something along those lines. Is there anybody that you've worked with over the past, or that you have plans to work with?
I work with lots of folks, have historically over the last 5 years. One of the things that I also do is offer a workshop showing people how to create beautiful cheese and charcuterie boards, the styling part of it. But we also talk about, great ingredients and why you should be looking for certain things over others. And so hosting that workshop, I work with other local businesses to have it in their place of business, so that we're both promoting each other. We're working on, the Facebook event, and we're both promoting. And so my workshop's getting people in their door that they may not normally see, but I'm also getting exposed to their customers as well. And so I've done that in a flower shop. I've done it in a gift boutique. I've done it in, rooms at restaurants, lots of different things. And so when you approach it from the idea that we're collaborating and helping each other grow instead of it being some sort of competition, good things happen.
Email strategy.
You're hitting my weak point, Jim.
I'm moving it along.
I know. Jim's like, enough of this baloney. Let's keep hustling.
I have the producer over here. I'm sitting right next to her. I'm getting type check.
Oh my gosh, already?
But you know that there's a lot of people like you and me that are running small businesses, and Matt, who kind of basically counsels them. I mean, everybody's afraid to email, and then they feel they're the only one who is bad at it.
No.
And you're the first person who came in here and said, I'm horrible at it.
I'm getting better. I wouldn't say I'm horrible. Of course, we're all our own worst critics. I'm getting better. it just comes down to time and figuring out how to make it more efficient for yourself. So my goal is to send one newsletter a month. I'm getting better at that year over year. But right now I'm in the space where I have just my whole email list. I need to segment because I have goals on the type of clients I want to attract more of. So I need to target that client. But Matt subscribed to my newsletter yesterday, and I knew immediately, I'm like, he's going to bring it up because I do not have an automated welcome set up yet for those new subscribers. And that's the first thing he said when we sat down.
Well, he'll set it up for you for a small price.
See, it's
can I cook for you, Matt, instead?
Right. It's funny because as soon as I sent that, I went, I'm either going to hear about this first thing in the morning or it's going to just disappear and I'll have to bring it up. So that's why I was kind of laughing when I hit submit.
I was ready. I'm like, I was waiting to see. I'm like, is he going to subscribe to my newsletter just to check if I have it on? But I know. But the thing is, at least I'm aware. I know the importance of having that touch point when somebody subscribes, thanking them, giving them something of value back. And so it's making it a priority because it is that important. I know it's that important that I have to be stronger in that email communication so that I'm not struggling as much to get the kind of clients that I want more of.
Right. Okay. So you do really well on social, right?
Thanks.
So you have, we have Instagram and we have Facebook, and you have thousands of followers that are following you. Mm-hmm. I see videos on there and I see kind of all of this stuff. What is the content that on social that people interact with the most? And I'm leading you is the reason I'm asking.
I find the reels, the videos, something with some action that are seeing the whole presentation versus just still shots of food. I mean, the food photos certainly do get reaction, but when people can see something, in action actually happening, and also when I have the opportunity to spit out a recipe every once in a while. I don't work off of recipes, so they're not just there for me to copy and paste and do a post. I have to actually think it through, but also think it through from the standpoint of somebody who is very intimidated by the kitchen or not. It's not a natural environment for them. I can't leave things out for them. So it takes me a bit to think through that, and sometimes, I just have to build up a repository of some stuff that I can fire off for people. Right. I'm very Insta on the Instagram. Everything is, whatever I send, it's happening right then and there. I have nothing scheduled.
Right. And I think that is, when you talk about your email, I think that is what it needs to come down to.
Yes.
It's this is what I'm working on today. Click this link to watch the behind the scenes of what's going on. Mm-hmm. I mentioned to you before we jumped on, I said, I signed up for your email newsletter and I was curious if I was going to get your favorite recipe or something that was sent to me.
You got nothing.
I got nothing. So we had that conversation, and that's fine. But, it's a welcome email that just automatically sends over. It's this is a kickstart to the relationship that we're going to have.
Yes.
This is the value that I'm going to give you. Please try this recipe. It's my favorite. It's maybe it was your grandfather's that was passed down. It's the family secret, right?
Yeah.
And we all know about the recipes. They're not from an Italian family. It's not 2 tablespoons of this. It's a pinch of this, a dash of that. You don't know what it is.
You have to have the right spoon so that it's the spoonful of that. Yeah.
So I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to email, it really just comes down to what is the content that people are really enjoying. Mm-hmm. So look at your social channels and go, all right, they really enjoyed the behind the scenes, the recipes, the artwork that you create, mm-hmm. and then start to create that in, if you just want to do a newsletter that goes out once a month, that's fine. I've got a guy locally that has millions of followers that we're talking with, and, people love his recipes. So he's got a website, and he cooks on screen and all this other stuff. But what I'm saying is find those passion mm-hmm. points that the reason why people follow you, and then incorporate that in. So if it's as simple as just a monthly newsletter, that's great. Another thing that we used to do or actually still do, I should say, is we give them an example of what the email is going to look like. So as they're subscribing, you can put a downloadable version of it and just say, this is the type of content that you're going to get.
Nice.
So then they see, they're like, oh, it's not all sales, right? It's all not, it's not the new person to the chamber that's coming in with their best offer, right? So those types of transparency behind the scenes, showing, we talked about brand. I mean, the brand is you.
Yes.
So show the brand, show you, show the behind the scenes, show the follies, right? Like show them like, I can't present this. This is what happens when you didn't get enough sleep last night, right? Like stuff like that. But just show the true you. And I think that's going to just pop so much more. And especially when somebody gets an email and it's, behind the scenes, it's a recipe for Easter that's coming up this weekend or something like that. I mean, those are things that people typically open.
Yeah. And I have an awesome open rate and click-through rate because most of when I am good in sending my newsletter, it's, things that I've been up to, or if I have upcoming opportunities that they might be interested in. It isn't like, oh, book me for this. I'm very much just, hey, if you want to get to know a little bit more about me. During COVID, I did live videos once a week to cook together with people, and those are going to go away soon if I don't download those. Maybe I can just repurpose those, even though they aren't beautiful and edited. People they still ask me if I would go back to doing that because we all had the time to sit there. And I think that is one of the ways that really built up the strength of my connection to my followers is because we would cook together on video every Sunday during COVID.
Right.
And so for, good or bad, I think that was a good opportunity that gave me a chance to connect with my audience more.
Maybe revisit that. Maybe pull those videos, put them on.
You got to go get them too. Just so everybody knows, we're taping here in April of 25, and Facebook has the 60 to 90 day thing where you got to download your old stuff or they're going to get rid of it. Yeah. So I know that's changing a lot of people's stuff. So Katie, I saw you make the the transition. There's other businesses that are in your same position where somebody came from 20 years of a career and then they went off and they struck out on their own, and so not only are they doing all their operations, all of a sudden they're into a marketing area that they didn't really understand that they were probably going to have to get into or understand how much it would take. What do you tell that person?
Pick something that you feel confident that you're good at and run with it. Try not to do everything. Don't spread yourself too thin because you're already spread too thin. Just try to be good at one thing.
Gosh,
and
I
be
think
consistent.
we've heard that before.
I kind of stole that a little bit. I am.
Gosh,
but I agree. I agree because there's just so much that you have to be responsible for. And at the end of the day, I have food to put on the table for people. So if I don't get to my newsletter, if I have to sacrifice working on my newsletter because I have food to prep, well, food that pays the bills. But I also know that I have to work on my email strategy because that is what keeps the business coming. So it's, prioritizing.
It's so odd that is something that Professor Hansen will say on a regular basis, and I've heard him say it to clients. Pick one thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's your Facebook Live videos of you prepping or some sort of Instagram reel or doing some TikTok or whatever, even X, just little, all things going on all day. I really appreciate you coming in here.
Thanks for having me.
And honestly, from watching you from the very first day to where you are now, it is an excellent example of somebody who could leave corporate America, start their own thing, and be very successful at it.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that.
So where can they find you?
They can find me at thegourmetgoddess.com, and I'm buzzing around Munster all the time. Or you can find me in Town Hall usually because I have lots of chamber-related duties. But if you need to reach me to book something, you can do that through my website or email me at thegourmetgoddess12@gmail.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. That was fun.
It's been a pleasure.
All right. Have a good day.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
The Mastering Local Marketing podcast helps local small business owners like you understand what it takes to successfully market your business and drive new customers through your doors. We provide actionable insights, interview leading experts and business owners in various industries, as well as provide tips and tricks we've uncovered over the last 25 years in the field. Whether you're starting your business or you've been at it for decades, let us provide you with the education and resources you need to grow your customer base. It's time to start mastering your local marketing.